There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to SyFy Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the SyFy channel. I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 5 of season 3 of VanHelsing.
Well,
Man, these people know how to travel.
Right? It makes me wonder, like, is there still gas? How are you moving so fast?
Right. Yeah,
it
was amazing that, wow, we went from somewhere in Colorado to San Francisco in no time.
Right? And it seemed to take the other group the exact same amount of time to get to Denver.
Plus, quite a few weeks. Or, well, we don't know if it's been weeks. May not have been, but a couple of days. But
do you think, like, the time frame isn't matching up right now?
No, I think it's still possible because they were put in quarantine in Denver before they got out into the general population. So, but that also has me real curious as to why they were put in quarantine, which I'm assuming that, yeah, that's what happens to new people. But aren't they doing blood tests?
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah. And if they were doing blood tests, why didn't they see the vampire marker in all of them but Jolene? Just
I don't think they're doing any kind of blood test.
Yeah, you would think they would have to. But doing it. Yeah. Oh, well.
And why am I blanking, like, when the hell Jolene got with the group? I'm seriously like, wait, wasn't she gone a while ago? Like, I couldn't remember her joining the group again.
Yeah, when they got the young girl back, she was with that group that survived the camp.
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Probably because we haven't seen her much.
Right.
Is what the whole thing is.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's actually jump in. So give me some ratings news.
All right. Episode 5 had a 0.10 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.457 million viewers. Much better number, making it the 92nd rated cable show for the day.
Nice.
So while you're tweeting with us on Friday nights, make sure you use the hashtag Renew VanHelsing. Yeah,
I noticed that when I was tweeting and I didn't even think about it. So that was my fault. All right. So episode 5, Pretty Noose. In San Francisco, Vanessa, Scarlett, and Axel find and battle against the Second Elder's forces. In Denver, Flesh, Doc, Julius, and Jolene rejoin American civilization as best they can. So they already separated. What was her name? Kaylee?
Yeah.
I forgot her name that quick.
Yeah, it was Kaylee.
So they separate her out. Like, this little group gets released from quarantine, and they're given information where they're going to live, what they have to do to earn credit to, I guess, get supplies.
Yep.
And then, they just kind of say it in passing that, she was already released and she's with a different group.
Right.
It's like, okay, why would you just be like, all right, hey, you came in with these people, but we're going to separate you.
Yeah.
Makes me worried.
Just a tad.
Yeah. It's like, what are they doing to the kids?
Every time Kaylee disappears, something bad usually comes about of it.
Right. So we find out Julius and Flesh are paired off, as are Doc and Jolene, for their living quarters. And Julius isn't thinking anything of it. He's just like trying to make the best of it.
Right.
And Flesh is pissed. And I don't know why he didn't just go, I need a different roommate.
Right. Yeah. If you didn't want to stay with Julius, you should have said something.
Right. Now we know he's mad because of his girlfriend.
Right.
But that's not Julius's fault.
No, but he's blaming Julius for everything because Julius is the one who changed him. And then once he changed, he killed his family.
Mm-hmm.
And now the girl he was in love with gets killed because of vampires. So all of a sudden he's just dumping all of it out on Julius.
Yeah, and especially pissed off that Julius is still calling him Flesh.
Right.
My name's Phil. But I felt bad because, like, this is when he gets pissed, when Julius is like, hey, what is this? Talking about a microwave, which I thought was funny.
That was hilarious to see him looking inside it going, what is this box?
And Phil comes out all pissed, like, I'm not staying in that room. Now, I don't understand if you've taken over this area and you're doing it, why would you not take down all that stuff? Because it was obviously a kid's room.
Right.
Why would you not take down all those pictures and maybe take the toys out if you're putting adults in there too?
Right. Yeah, they're
apparently
no prepping for the
because I'm like,
quarters.
You know what? How many of those people probably lost kids? And it's like, here, have some salt with your wound.
Right.
I felt horrible.
Yeah.
And then we have Julius end up looking for work, and he walks into a bar. I thought it was an arcade at first. I didn't know what it was.
Because that's the first thing you see is
like the pinball game.
Yeah, an old arcade. But there happens to be a bar there and some tables, so you figure, okay, must be a bar.
Asks for a job as a woman is throwing some guy out. Okay, you have the the VA, vampire apocalypse, not the zombies this time, sorry.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get totally wasted. Really? Maybe you need to stay sharp. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Not the brightest.
No.
But he ends up asking her if she's looking for help because he needs a job. And she kind of looks him up and down and is like, yeah, how about, was it a bouncer and a busser?
Right.
He's like, okay, sure. Like, he just looks like he's happy to be of use to anybody.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, Julius was absolutely just ecstatic to be there and not have to think about vampires.
Right.
Everybody else,
Phil being an ass.
Yeah. Everybody else, not so much.
Who knows what's going to happen with him, but...
Yeah.
Because basically the last we see, was him going into another room and slamming the door.
Right.
So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
But we can go back to Doc and Jolene, who go into an apartment, and it's like a studio, and it only has one bed. Which I can see that being kind of awkward because, okay, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's different because I've slept in the same bed as my friends.
Right.
And it's not weird for me. I don't know if that's a girl thing or what. But I also kind of felt like, why wouldn't you give them a place that had two beds?
Right.
Like, did you just assume they were together?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was awkward.
Yeah. And of course, Doc says she'll take the couch.
That wasn't a couch.
Yeah.
That's a love seat. There was two cushions.
Yeah.
Enough space for like somebody who's 3 foot tall.
Right. Yeah. A young child could sleep on that couch, not an adult.
That awkwardness though. I feel like Jolene was getting pissed.
Right.
And she does kind of come up with that later.
Yeah.
But they both end up getting a job at the town hospital. And Doc's like, just fake it. You were great in triage.
Right. Yeah. Which was really nice that Jolene was able to con her way into it.
Right. But they basically said, just don't kill a patient. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And Doc gets access to a lab. Now, what I was unsure about, why did she immediately try to test the blood? Because she didn't have much of it.
No.
So I feel like maybe just doing random testing isn't the way to go. But then again, I guess she needs some idea of what the heck she's dealing with, hoping to find some cure.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. That's still kind of her task at hand, is to come up with a solution. And once she finds that lab, she gets on it as soon as possible.
Right. Let's go to Jolene for a second, because I did not know what was happening here.
No, this was really, really strange, because she ends up working with somebody who thinks he knows her from Seattle.
Yeah. What's that all about?
Yeah, exactly. You kind of go, that's going to cause a problem somewhere down the road. I just feel it in my bones.
Right, because he just kept saying, no, I know your face. I'm horrible with names, but I know your face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just thinking this is going to be something huge.
Right.
Because why else bring that up?
Yeah, he couldn't have met her passing through the camp on his way to Denver or anything like that. So it's got to be something much bigger than that from actually before the VA.
I am really kind of worried about this. I'll tell you that.
Especially for Doc.
But especially the way she reacted.
Right.
That's why I'm just like, oh, crap. And then we have Jolene and Doc kind of talking. Doc brings Jolene lunch, and they sit there and just kind of talk for a minute and kiss. And Doc was kind of taken by surprise, but then she kisses her again. Kisses Jolene, and it's like, okay. And then Jolene comes to talk to Doc later, and Doc is very, standoffish. And I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
I thought it was just weird, she doesn't want to get close to anybody. But then we find out it's something completely different.
Right.
Doc ends up going to the apartment, and Jolene's, packing, I'll find someplace else to stay. She's like, no, you don't understand.
Right.
I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
And Jolene's thinking she means with a woman.
Right.
And she's like, no, I mean, period. It's like, whoa. You just see this light bulb go on for Jolene.
Right.
Oh, crap. Okay. Not what I was expecting.
No.
So Jolene's just like, okay, we can take it slow. It's like, well, I don't know how else you expect to respond to that other than, okay, we need to totally change attitude, I guess, because I'm getting pissy. Now I can't really be pissy with you, can I?
Right.
So I don't know how that's going to work out, especially because of that I recognize you thing. So
right.
I guess we'll see where that goes. They have to bring that back up, right?
When has the showrunner ever had something, or the writers ever have something like that some time later didn't pop back up? So yeah, there's no.
Yeah, I would think, but you know how many shows screw us around.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Very true.
Let's go over to the Pacific.
Yes.
We're going to San Fran, and oh, look at this town! Just looks great.
Yeah. Looks like more than the vampire apocalypse happened. That and a few earthquakes, maybe.
Right? Never know.
Yep.
So they get there and they end up running into some men with guns. Thankfully, they're not trigger happy. At least not too trigger happy.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Only one of them
yeah.
lets off just one round.
Yeah, one shot. But that's all it took.
Happened to take Vanessa in the cheek, across the cheek, and she healed. And they're like, oh, it's you. Okay. Really, dude? If it wasn't, then she'd be kind of screwed.
Right.
So thanks for pulling that trigger. But we find out that they had heard whispers about someone like Vanessa, which makes me wonder who may have made it that far.
Exactly.
Because it's not like there's internet.
No. It'd have to be in somebody from Seattle that made it down there.
Right. And I'm thinking maybe it was from that one group that the babies were being taken.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think.
Yep. Absolutely. That would be the most obvious choice. That's for sure. Now, of course, these guys have a sad story to tell that they lost their commander when they were making runs, and they've been on their own now for a couple years, and it's just...
Well, I don't think it's been that long.
No, it hadn't been that long. It'd been a couple months. Yeah,
because according to the way this storyline went, okay, this is me maybe stretching, but it seemed like San Fran only fell recently.
Yeah.
That the military had been able to keep everything going. And then these are the last holdouts of the military. So it was like, wait, how were they able to keep this whole town? Or I know it's not a town, it's a big city. I mean, the only thing I can think of is because of the bay made it a little bit harder.
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, what is going on? And then we find out, of course, it just happened at this point, which they give the timeline.
Right.
And that happened to be the time that Vanessa had found out about the Ba.
Yeah.
It's like, they're connected. Got it. Because she does happen to say something like, if that other elder had not put me in there, would the Ba have risen up? Then?
Right. Had woken up. Right.
Like, interesting.
Yes. and seeing that she doesn't have her elder anymore, she won't be able to be put into that again to look at any other of the elders. So maybe if she can get through Ba, the others might be easier.
Maybe.
Unless Sam is the one who's supposed to wake them from their sleep.
Oh, God. Don't say that. Well, we have Axel deciding he's going to hang out with the soldiers and help them to kind of help split up while Vanessa and Scarlet go running looking for the Ba, which I'm thinking, again, bad idea.
Yep.
Because things just always go right when that happens.
Exactly. We've seen it every time they've split up. Nope, it don't go well.
No, because Vanessa and Scarlet end up having a run-in with the ninjas.
Yeah.
Flipping crazy shadow people from the Ba. And they put up a good fight. And then right at the end, Scarlet barely misses getting caught by one of the blades.
Right.
Like, it didn't look like it cut her, but it looked like it scraped her.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, man, this isn't good. Knowing what we know.
Yeah.
And, of course, we end up finding out it was poisoned. And Vanessa has to go hunting the Ba on her own because the only way she can save Scarlet is with the Ba's blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's going bad very quickly.
Right. And we did find a local band of survivors with some really weird dude who thinks that he's, I don't know, in wrestling. I don't know what he thought.
Bruiser.
Yeah. It's like, oh, God. So they're at least keeping an eye on Scarlet while the one guy takes Vanessa to where all of a sudden the weird vampire activity seemed to have come from.
Right.
And then you see 3 boxes open and only like 4 boxes there. I'm like, oh, wait, does that mean the 3 that were open were the 3 that they killed? And of course, Steve shot me down.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. Not likely.
Like, damn it. We couldn't be that lucky, huh?
No.
So we don't know what's going to happen there.
No, because we cut back to Axel and his little patrol group who check out a building and see the missing men lying dead inside.
Yep.
It's a trap.
When he goes in, I'm like, find a way to prop some doors open.
Yeah.
There's sunlight outside.
Yeah.
Don't go into the dark. And what did they do?
One by one, just disappearing into the darkness.
I'm going to say those are the worst soldiers ever.
Oh, yeah.
When he's like, stay together, back to back. Very Walking Dead-ish, by the way.
Right.
And they just break rank and they're running all crazy. I'm like, oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, the one guy did say they were barely out of boot camp.
Right.
But still, to listen.
Yes. And Axel was telling him, stay in the light. Stay in the light.
Right. Yeah, because you didn't see anything grab him. Because then Axel, who just stood, he was in the light, but I guess he was in a dimmer area.
Right.
He ended up getting grabbed even.
Yeah.
So what does this mean?
This is not good.
We'll specify them.
Axel captured by the Ba and Scarlet poisoned and dying. Yeah.
And Vanessa not knowing crap.
Right.
Great. Oh, my goodness. Well, what do you guys think of this episode and what may happen? Shoot us an email at SyFyTalk@fangirlzone.com. That's SYFY talk@fangirlzone.com. And while you're at it, if you want to check out our website, it is www.fangirlzone.com. You can see everything that we have up there, and most importantly, our contact page, which makes it really easy if you want to get a hold of us, just to click one of those buttons. Oh, my goodness. This is not making me feel great for our Scooby Gang, but while you're at everything...
Yeah, it's going to be a test for Vanessa. Can she control the anger against the Ba? That's going to be the whole thing, because especially if she ends up using Axel as bait.
Yeah, and knowing that Scarlet's on the line.
Right.
So, I don't know. But if you wouldn't mind rating and reviewing us, too, on iTunes and any other platform you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends about this, and they can get just as frustrated as you are, or as I am, whatever. And we do hope you're enjoying the podcast. And for this episode of SyFy Talk, I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. I'm glad it's gone. The thing kept looking at me like I was lunch.
And until next time.